and welcome to another video on doing stuff and filming it. Today we're going to be giving the old Lifan King a bit more eBay treatment. We're mainly going to be doing two things here today though. One of them is I've got this rather lovely USB set adapter kit. Basically you've got that attaches to your battery, or you can put them on ignition live, or you attach them to a power source. You've got a fuse, and then you can position that wherever you like, and you've got in there nice USB port, or charger rather, and it's nice and waterproof. That's nice and rubberized. Yeah, we're going to be fitting that. That is then going to allow me to power my Sat-Nav. I've ordered this lovely waterproof case off eBay for it, which perfectly fits my old Garmin Sat-Nav. I have to say, these, the Garmin Nuvies, I've had this 15 years by my reckoning, at a guess. And I plugged it in thinking, can I even get updates for this, or do I need to buy a new one? Turns out this product was sold with lifetime updates, and they mean it. It doesn't have the storage capacity anymore to store all of Europe like it used to, but I'm not going abroad, so all of the UK, up-to-date 2023 maps. Excellent, on a 15-year-old Sat-Nav, and I didn't have to pay a penny for it. So yeah, happy days with that. That's a magnetic case. It's just going to slap on to the tank, and then we can run the USB cable through there to keep it charged. I've gone with Sat-Nav over phone for two reasons. I don't know how well this is going to charge my phone. Also, even when it's being plugged into a good source, if I'm using, say, Google Maps to navigate, charger doesn't always keep up with the amount of power that the phone's using. That, and I like to keep my phone tucked away where it's nice and safe. So, and the charging port on my phone is getting a bit worn out, so subject to the vibration of a bike, it may not be able to keep it charged. It may keep coming unplugged. So yeah, I've gone with regular old Sat-Nav as well. For one, this doesn't need mobile signal to keep working either. I know you can download maps with Google, but this I know will work no matter what. As long as it's got GPS signal, it keeps on going. So it's much more reliable than my phone. So that's the minor thing that we're doing. The main thing though, the main attraction for today is going to be these. These are just two ex-army bags. Specifically, they're bread bags, you could call them, or food rolls. Basically, they give them to soldiers, sling over their shoulder, and they'll have a day or two's worth of rations in there. Bought these online. Now, they're quite special. They're not just any ex-military ones. These are East German. So yeah, these are really old, and of course, there's no such country as East Germany anymore. Not since the heyday of the Soviet Union. So yeah, we've got these, and what we're going to do with them, we are going to turn them into saddlebags, because I think that's going to go great with my ammo can top box that I made, and it really fits with the style of the bike that I'm sort of slowly moving towards with this. I've got a few other ideas in the pipeline as well of what I want to do with the bike, various modifications, so these are really fitting in with the style. They are supposedly grade 2, which was, poor, likely to have holes in them, but apart from that little cut there, they're actually in pretty good condition. I'm going with that stain being rust. It could be blood, but I'm going to say it's rust. It's got an orangey colour. And we've got these nice straps on the back to hold them on. We are going to put a more permanent solution on at least one of these, but yeah, nice straps for holding it on there. And on this one, you see it's a slightly different colour, but I'm not that bothered. It's in remarkably good condition as well. They did grade 1 and grade 2, and I ordered grade 2 thinking I can just sew up the holes, but these are in pretty good nick as well. So yeah, bit of an antique, and we're going to turn them into something good. They need to be waterproofed, which we'll do in a minute, and they've also had these straps added to them. The idea is that people use these as like satchel bags, messenger bags, handbags, for example. So they've put these big straps on them, which obviously aren't original. So we're just going to pick those off, because I don't want all that flapping around. But the rest of it can stay. So yeah, we need to get them waterproofed, get the straps off, and get them firmly attached to the bike, and then I'll have a set of cool saddlebags. I've got a ride out coming up in a week or 8 days at the time of filming, and it's going to be a long one, sort of 8 to 10 hours. So the bike needs some prep work doing to it, starting with this stuff. And of course it's going to need a service, but that will be subject to another video. Yeah, alright, let's get on with it. USB first. Now, unfortunately, I haven't really given any thought as to where I'm going to put this. Now, well, the obvious, one end of it, obviously, is going to have to go behind here on the battery. That's easy enough, and the wiring I can tuck away and hide, just follow the routing of the main wiring loom. But it's this thing. Where am I going to put this? There's nowhere sort of around this tank. I'll show you up top. There's nowhere sort of up around here by the controls that I can put it. I wanted to put it there, but you're using that screw that's already there. But it'd have to go either side of it on a little bracket, and the problem with that is, as you bring this round, it interferes with it. It's going to crush it. It's unlikely I will get to full lock, but it is limiting my steering lock putting it there. So that's out. There's not really anywhere to attach it up here. So what I've decided, there's various places on the handlebars I could put it, but what's the point in that? It needs to be close to where I'm actually going to use it, which is this area here, which is where I'm going to put my Sat-Nav. It's going to have to stick on the tank or down here or something. So what I've decided is, battery's there, under this seat, we have this little cubbyhole. Now it just lifts out, and as far as I can tell, all it's designed to do is keep water away from those relays there. There's a little drain hole at the bottom to let the water out. That's all it really does. So what I was thinking of doing was, we widen the hole that's there and we put this just in there. Now I could leave it just loose, rattling around, or I think I want to try and mount it sort of there like that, so it looks a little neater. But for the time being, I mean, it could just sit loose if it wanted to. This is waterproof, so even if any water did get into this, it's not really going to cause an issue. Although, if I'm honest, I've never seen water in this. I mean, it's just got all this dry dirt in it, but that's about it. So I'm not overly concerned about it. I put that in there, and my Sat-Nav, which is what I primarily bought this for, has its own wire which will easily reach wherever I need it to. Plus it keeps the connection, because when that cap is removed, it's no longer waterproof. So if I do find myself riding in the rain, at least this is tucked away nicely under the seat. So that's where it's going to go. It does leave me with all this bloody wire that I've got to try and tuck away, but if I'm honest, most of it can probably just go in there as well. Let's do that. Let's get this cover off. Let's get it connected, and we'll figure out, which way around we're going to do this. Because this will need to be, occasionally I do need to remove this for other reasons, like getting to the air filter. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to make this removable still. But yeah, let's get that off first. There we go. Take that off of there. It should just pop off. There we go. And what I think I'll do, it has this connector on it here. If I can get this connector outside of this, what I'll be able to do is lift this out and then just disconnect this, so that bit stays on that side, this bit stays battery side. I do have way too much wiring for this though. This was obviously designed for a much larger bike. Now I wanted to try and hide this fuse away as well, but it's probably just going to have to sit there next to the battery. But that's okay. And then that, well, if I'm honest, I can just cable tie it off with all this other wiring, and it can just go there like that. There's nothing in there that it can interfere with. Right, so that is going to go through that hole, so I need to make that wider. Let's get a drill. Right, hopefully this is big enough.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Can you see there? Not quite. Still not quite. Bloody hell. Surely now. There we go. Right, okay. Let's get the rest of it connected up now then. Now the battery connections on this battery aren't the best anyway, so I try to avoid messing around with them too often. Especially this one, which doesn't want to come off. And I'm going to end up just rounding the screw off at this rate. Pliers it is then. Oh, it went a bit there. There we go, I think it's slackened. Just had to break it essentially. There we go. Let's take the negative one off as well. Oh, that's a good cap. Now, before anyone says anything, yes, I am well aware that what I'm doing here is giving this constant feed, so it won't switch off when I turn the ignition off. I did think about putting this into the ignition, but that's all the way up there on the forks, well, between the forks rather, and I just couldn't be bothered. And I also don't see the point. Now, if I was going to be leaving this bike for a long period of time with something plugged into the USB, yes, in theory it's going to eventually flatten this battery. But for one, that will take a very long time. USB draws so little power, even for a little battery like this. And for number two, I'm not going to be doing that. The only things that I'm really going to run off this are probably going to be my phone or my Sat-Nav, neither of which I'm going to leave on the bike unattended. Yeah, first thing I will do whenever I get somewhere is unplug the device and leave. So there's no risk of me flattening the battery. And even if I did, so what? That's what this thing's for. So let's do the negative side now, which is going to be a pain in the ass to undo as well, because of course I do those up too tight this time, because they were a bit of a pain in the ass to undo. Right. See, that's just going to have to live in front of the battery. There's nothing else I can do with it. I could try pull it down there, but that's as far as it'll go. Yeah, that can just live there. There's plenty of room behind this panel. Put the fuse back in while I remember. Otherwise later I'll forget, and then I'll be like, when is it working? And what we'll do is we'll connect that to there, and then if I ever need to lift this out, that is easily disconnected. Let's slot this in here, angle it so that fits in there. Oh, there we go, look at that. One thing I am curious about though is, yeah, when the seat comes down on top of it, I think I'm going to have to make a bit of a dent somewhere. Maybe just snip a V into the plastic so that a wire can get in and out without being snipped, without being crushed by the seat. Okay. A bit of a crude way of approaching it, but no one's going to see this. There we go. Then my wires can get in and out. They'll go that way. Can't see there being anything else obstructing it really. No, that should be okay then. I think maybe I will just leave that loose for now. The bike rattles enough as it is, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Right, let's go find something to test this with before I plug my expensive Sat-Nav and expensive phone directly into it. And then, yeah, let's see how we go. Right, we'll use this USB reading lamp because everybody needs a reading lamp on their motorbike. Okay, well, nothing's blown up. It works. And it's not blowing up either. Excellent. Right, let's go and let's get the Sat-Nav, shall we? I've just noticed a bit of a problem with this lovely phone / Sat-Nav holder that I've just bought. The little hole for poking your wire through is sealed. Good job there, guys. So, where's my dooba-doo? Please don't blow up my Sat-Nav. Oh. Well, that's a cock-up. I should have checked that when it arrived. This wire said it fits the Garmin Nuvi, but it does not. It's the wrong size. They've sent me the wrong one. I took great care to order the right one. That's been sitting on my desk for a week and I haven't noticed. Fuck's sake. Yeah, I've just gone and checked the eBay listing. It was definitely supposed to have that connector on it. That's what's shown in the picture, and that's what it's described as. And they've sent me something completely the wrong one. And the reason I ordered this is it's got the right angle on it. so it allows the Sat-Nav to sit a bit flatter in the case, but never mind, we'll have to make do with my existing wire, which is barely going to be long enough now. And aha, Sat-Nav is on. Look at that, that is on. It's loading up. Okay, maybe the wire is just about long enough. Unfortunately, because I've now got the wrong wire in there, this doesn't sit perfectly flat on there, so it's not secure, which is not ideal, not what I wanted. There we go, she is working. Don't know if you can see that in the sun, but she is on. If nothing more, I've got an accurate speedo now. For some reason, when I plug it in though, the Sat-Nav thinks it's been plugged into a computer, which it's obviously not. But at least we know it works as a concept. That's something. We shall call that, let's take that out of there, we shall call that job's good one for now. Let's move on to the main attraction, which is the saddlebags. I'm going to put all this back together first, mind. I've just noticed something as well as I'm packing up. This fits lovely right in there. How good is that?
Jag heter Peter och de kommer runt personer som tar över. Jag är med sig på de här inbörden. Men jag kan inte vara till att be 5, 4. Den är tid. Jag kan hålla det själv från. Hemma runt.
Okay, right, back up to the studio for a short time whilst we get these saddlebags ready to go. So they need a bit of work doing to them. As I said earlier, these shoulder straps need to come off. They're obviously not the original shoulder straps, and even if they were, they're surplus to requirements. In fact, if I put these, left these on when I put the bags on the bike, it's probably going to make them a bit of a hazard. They're not going in the bin. I'm going to keep them because they're good straps. They could be useful for future projects, but they need to come off. This bag, which is in some places it's in better condition than this one, in other places not so much. This is going to need a little bit of stitching there to cover up that hole, to fix up that hole rather. These straps though are staying on because they're pretty good. This one doesn't have any holes in it. It's actually in pretty good condition, the bag itself. But these leather straps are useless. There's no point keeping them, so they need to come off as well. So we've got the sewing kit out. Let's get these off, and then once they're prepared that way, we need to go and get them waterproofed, at least as much as I can. I have got some waterproofing spray which we shall use in a minute. So bit of time lapse now as I do this, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Right, job's a good one. So, straps came off relatively easily. Just pick them off with one of these, which is called a pick. At least that's what I've always been told it's called. I've sewn up the little hole that was on this one. That one has the good straps on the back, which we are keeping. And this one, again, we've taken the big shoulder strap off. There's no holes in this one. I've just used these heavy-duty scissors to snip off what's left of those leather straps. They're not even real leather. They're some sort of weird plastic. It is woven, but I don't even know what it is. Something left over from the old Soviet Union, probably. But yeah, they have a nice partition inside to these. You can have a big pocket, or you've got, you can put a drinks bottle, say, in that one, like that. If else, it's just so that when I go on long rides, I can carry stuff with me, like food and snacks, and maybe camera equipment if I'm going off to film something I want to go on the bike. Right, let's go and get these waterproofed. We're going to need to go downstairs for that, because it's going to be quite a messy job. I don't want to do that on my nice linen tablecloth that I have up here. So we'll pack up, get downstairs, and we'll show you how I'm going to waterproof them. So, to waterproof my bags, I've got this this cardboard box out, which I used when I made my top box video. I use it just to help keep all of the mess in one place. And we're going to be using this. This is Fabsil Universal Protector. Essentially a silicone-based water repellent spray. Other versions of this are available. The brand name for this sort of stuff is Scotchgard, which I believe is made by 3M. This is just an off-brand version of it, but it's actually quite a simple product, so you don't really need to worry about getting the branded stuff. You're not really going to get any benefit from spending the extra money. At least that's what my research turned up. So yeah, and it says suitable for sheepskin, suede, leather and fabrics. Well, these bags are fabric. And on the back we have, say, highly effective silicone-based water repellent treatment for all kinds of outdoor kits. The bike isn't exactly an indoor bit of kit, so yep. It will bond to a wide range of fabrics, including canvas, which is pretty much what my bags are made of, cotton, polyester and nylon, providing a strong waterproof barrier against rain. Excellent, that's what we're looking for. Instructions. The fabric to be treated must be clean, dry and free from detergents. Well, they're cleanish, about as clean as they're going to get for things, you know, fabric bags that are so old. Shake well and spray evenly from a distance of 10 to 15 centimetres. If droplets are seen on the fabric, rub over lightly with a clean cloth to ensure penetration. Giggity.
Penetrate.
Do not allow rain or dew to come into contact with the fabric until completely dry. May darken some fabrics. Alright, so we just spray it on, leave it to dry, and then they're ready to go on the bike.
Give it a go. So shake well. Should do the job. And 10 to 15 centimetres, that's about, I don't know, there. So let's just start here.
Right, so let's hang that one up then as well. couple of hours I'll check on them. If they feel dry, we can maybe try putting a little bit of water over them to see how they behave. I'm more inclined to leave them overnight, actually. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll leave them overnight before testing them. And what I may also do is put an extra layer along the seams here, just because that's where water can ingress more easily. So let's hang this one up to dry, and we'll continue with these tomorrow. Right, following day. They've had all night to dry, and if I'm honest, it looks pretty much the same as it did before. It's lightened up a bit, it's maybe a little darker. It does have a slightly different feel to it. But I'm just going to pour some water over it, and if I end up with a soggy arm, then we know it hasn't worked. Let's give this a go, see what happens. Oh, look at that! It's just beading up and running off. How cool is that? Let's try the other side. Look at that. That's worked really well. I'm happy with that. Let's have a look inside. Lovely and dry inside as well. Excellent. Do I need to test the other one? Yeah, screw it. Let's just do it for vanity's sake, shall we? You're so vain. That one seems to be working even better. Look, it's just beading up. It runs off. It's dry inside. Excellent. Great success!
Great success.
Right, back up to the studio so that I can show you the bit that I'm going to do next. For the simple reason is that it's easy for me to show you up here than it is in the garden. Also, I can drink my coffee up here. I mean, I can drink it in the garden as well, but it will go cold faster. So, we're going to use pipe clamps to hold them onto the bike, because I've been searching around and there's various ways you can do it, but these seem like the best and most secure. They're going to be a permanent fixture on the bike, so I'm not really fussed about ease of removal later. If I really need to remove them, all I need is a screwdriver, but I'm more concerned with them being securely fastened than convenience later down the line. So, like an idiot, I went out about a week ago and bought the wrong size because I just didn't really think it through. So I've just been out today and bought, well, probably a bit too big, but the medium ones that are sort of part way between were, well, slightly bigger than these, and thought, just get the big ones. I can always trim them off if I've got too much. So I was originally going to make a hole in the back of the bag, cut it here and here, or maybe just through the canvas to make it easier on myself, put the pipe clamp through. What I've noticed though is these little straps here, I don't know what these were originally sewn on for. I can only assume these were meant to have something under them, as in you were meant to hang this bag on something once over. Well, why don't I just use that? It is that sort of weird fake leather, but these bits are in far better condition than the straps that were here. In fact, they look like they've hardly been used, some of them, especially on this one. Yeah, I'm just going to use those. So, I'll start. We shall open up a clamp and just slot it round, and then we'll just go and get it screwed onto the bike. Simple as that. Right. Right. These are ready to go on the bike. We're nearly done. Let's go put them on. So the big question is how to position these. Do I want them further forward or further back? I could put them... See, I can only go so far back before I hit my box here. What I'm thinking is, if I position them, I'm going to have to move that out of the way. There, like that. Yeah, we'll go a bit further back. We'll move this jerry can out of the way. Yeah, I'll position it as far back as I can so it's sort of married up with the box. Yeah. You know what? I'm quite happy with how that turned out, you know. Let's have a look round. Yeah, I think they look alright. Yeah. And here we go, just to show you what these are for. Got a long ride out coming soon. Go in there. There's space for a lunchbox or two. Not quite, but alright. There we go, that's a drink and sandwiches. Same the other side. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm proper happy with that actually. Alright, we're going to call that it for this. This bike is almost ready for its long ride out that's coming up in a few days now. So yeah, for now, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching this video on doing stuff and filming it. Please don't forget to press the big button here in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you liked what you just saw, please click the like button below and leave a comment letting me know what you liked about it. And as always, thank you for watching.